The highlight of every week here on Paul Murray Live is our chance to have a chat with our lovely friend Megyn Kelly in the United States. Rockstar, how are you?
It's the highlight of my week as well. Great to be with you.
Look at you, always being friendly. Now, God love you. So, Joe Biden, and I love whoever did the video, the comparison video of Donald Trump walking into the UFC as if he was a fighter, and Biden stumbling around on a beach. They kind of nailed the comparison here, but just like when Democrats were willing to vote for a vegetable in John Fetterman, it won't matter, does it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's amazing these two men are 3 years apart in age. Like, how can that be? He looks strong as a horse. It looks like there's no stopping the guy. And Joe Biden looks like he's been run over by a horse. So it's very alarming. And Biden's going only one direction. They know what they have with Biden, someone they can control, someone who's just going to be told what to do. They are just banking on him not dying because nobody wants Kamala Harris. Nobody. They know she'll lose. God forbid something happens to Biden between now and November 2024. She'll lose, and everyone knows that. But a little bit more right now, Paul, you're starting to see some hit pieces on Joe Biden. And I use the term hit pieces very gently. I mean, this is what the left's version of a hit piece on a Democrat is. He seems kind of angry. He's yelling at a lot of people, but maybe it's really just to build up their resilience. But he's kind of mean. He drops the F-bomb a lot. But that's really just his way of showing you that he loves you. Seeing more and more of that. And there is some speculation over here that the left is getting nervous and thinking about dumping him at some point between now and when they got to make their decision next year.
Ron DeSantis is a very successful politician, was able to win re-election by 20 points in Florida, but he sucks as a presidential candidate. I'm sure the assumption was that Trump would blow up or be disqualified. Neither of those are going to happen. We know that the polls say that, Republicans are all in on Trump, even if they know that he's going to lose. But are you surprised at how bad DeSantis is as a presidential?
I expected he would be better. There's no question. I mean, he was a juggernaut in Florida, and coming out of those midterm elections where the Republican Party didn't do as well as expected, and Ron DeSantis consolidated Florida, the blue counties, the red counties. He just looked like a star of the Republican Party. I thought when he actually launched the campaign, there'd be more magic. It hasn't been there. Now there's more and more articles about how it's just lackluster and failure to launch. To me, I look at the Republican field and I think, look, maybe this field would be exciting and something that would motivate voters without a Trump. Maybe they'd look at a Ron DeSantis, who isn't exactly the most charming, but totally competent. He's a totally competent guy and is going to govern the way that most Republicans in America would love. And say, we don't care. We don't need charm. We need a winner. We need to get somebody on our team in the office. The problem is no one can get past the gorilla. He's 800 pounds. He dominates everything. And on top of him just sucking up all the oxygen, Paul, he's totally charming and entertaining. The people want the show. And if you want them to turn the channel to your show, you do need to be a little charming, a little fun, a little unpredictable. You've got to make it worth their while. And there's just not a candidate right now who can do that.
Yeah, and certainly sort of, again, you see all these people that are trying to prop up DeSantis. You can see all the different reasons why. But in the end, he is who he is. He is presenting as he's presenting. And, I'm not entirely sure that while, part of the conversation is about how woke everything's become, what's his solution for making people's lives better? I mean, it's great that he's going to go after this and go after that. But to me, again, he's not exactly building a message of hope. I mean, what does a DeSantis presidency represent? We know what a Trump presidency represents. We lived it. But we don't know what it would be.
No, it's a very good point. And I'm as anti-woke as they come. So I love what Ron DeSantis says on all that stuff and would vote for him in a New York minute. I mean, I would. But think about when Trump ran in 15 and 16. I remember I did an interview with Trump, and he said to me beforehand, because we had to pre-tape it before it aired on Fox, just his schedule. And he said, do me a favor and don't cut any part of it. Don't cut any part out. And I said, well, I can't promise you that because there's a limited amount of airtime. We got 42 minutes of content in a 60-minute show. So I might have to cut a little, but I'll keep the edits to a minimum. And he just kept saying, don't cut. I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't cut anything. And I didn't agree to that. But thank God I didn't agree to that, because this is how the entire interview went. It had to be boiled down to like 12 minutes, and we sat for maybe 16 minutes. China China, China, the wall, the wall, the wall, China, the wall. He was brilliant at messaging and remains brilliant at messaging. It was a perfect phone call, perfect phone call, perfect phone. Like, that's Trump. He knows how to penetrate through all the nonsense, all the buzz that everybody's getting caught up in, and bring his message. What are China and the wall about? It's about America first. It's about the low to middle class who's been screwed over and forgotten. That message penetrated everything. The woke, I love it. Again, don't get me wrong, but you need more grist for the mill. You know, you need those forgotten workers who are still pissed off about China and the flux of immigrants coming across the southern border to think, you're the guy, you're thinking about me. You're thinking about my issues. And DeSantis, while it's been very successful in Florida, has to find a better message for the country if he wants to boost these poll numbers.
How do you feel about Miss Netherlands being a dude?
Oh, my God. You use that term "miss" very loosely, my friend, very loosely.
What's the competition that they won?
The winner, as far as I can tell, his biggest qualification is he's a man, which is very sexy now. It makes people feel very good about themselves to say how pro-man they are at a woman's pageant. And the thing that really irritates me, apart from the fact that this is an obvious lie, this was not the most beautiful woman at the pageant, neither that beautiful nor a woman, is that is an opportunity. If you win Miss Nederlanden and you go on to the Miss Universe pageant and you win Miss Universe, you have all sorts of potential opportunities opening up for you. You've got modeling contracts, you've got sponsorships. You could really change a young woman's life. They're all 21, 22. Not for this young woman who's now second, in the Netherlands. She's not going to be able to do any of the stuff that this guy's going to be able to do, Ricky. So it's annoying. In any event, the whole thing is a farce. I do not look forward to seeing Miss Nederlanden compete at Miss Universe, but based on what I've seen, the guy's got a pretty damn good chance of winning.